Someone signed up? Thank you. All right. All right, I have 6:09. I'll call this meeting of the Columbus Common Council to order. It is December 20th, 6:09. This meeting has been rescheduled from our regular date this Tuesday that had to be canceled. Pat, if you're able, could you please take the roll for us?
Clark. Reed.
Here.
Tylen.
Here.
Tome.
Here.
Traxler.
Here.
Hendrickson's excused.
Okay, we have a quorum. If able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. This meeting has been noticed appropriately according to state statutes and local ordinances. Next item is to approve the agenda. Unless there's any alterations or deletions, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any discussion on the motion? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is approved. Under correspondence and communications on the agenda, we had printed from Tuesday was J.D. Milburn, but he's not present this evening. But I do have one person signed up, and that is Liz Davis. Liz, if you wanted to step up to the podium. Just state your address, please.
My name is Liz Davis, and I live at 304 North Luddington Street. I'm here for the beautification committee, and we had some ordinance ideas that we would like to put forward. I have them written out for you. We've had many meetings, and tonight we have a recommendation to update the snow removal ordinance for both the already designated downtown district as well as within city limits overall. Snowy sidewalks harm our downtown businesses by discouraging foot traffic and endanger those who venture out. It also has an overall unwelcoming look to those who drive through. So for the downtown, we'd like to see delinquent sidewalk snow removal time frame changed from 24 to 12 hours, and after a snowfall of 2 inches or more. Through research, we found that many jurisdictions in Wisconsin use the 12-hour limit, including Janesville and Waukesha for their entire cities. Under the proposal, after the 12 hours have passed, a warning is issued, as we do now. After another 12 hours, the Public Works Department would clear the sidewalk for them for the actual cost. In addition, for the whole city, we'd like to see a fee structure brought up to date to encourage compliance. The current fee for snow removal is a flat $50 with an additional $15 in costs for administrative paperwork, with no increases for chronic offenders. According to the Columbus Public Works Department, the actual cost average for removing sidewalk snow is $83 with an additional $18 in administrative fees, bringing it to a total of $101, almost twice what we actually charge of the actual cost removal. Of the towns called, Waterloo, Watertown, Sun Prairie, Beaver Dam all charged actual cost for snow removal. Columbus loses money each time it is forced to shovel for an offender. A higher flat fee of $100 or more to cover cost is recommended. In addition, in order to discourage repeat offenders, we would like a fee added after the first offense, and again after that, starting with the beginning of the snow season. Most of the jurisdictions we called doubled the fee. It appears, according to Columbus Municipal Code 86-226C, that we already have the ability to issue citations in addition to the removal fees. We would like to see that clarified with monetary amounts and the number of violations stated. We feel these changes would keep citizens safer, encourage foot traffic downtown in winter for our businesses, help downtown look cared for during a period when we are trying to encourage businesses to come here, save our city taxpayers money by requiring the full cost of snow removal to be paid, discourage repeat offenders with an increasing penalty schedule, and reduce the excessive amount of paperwork done by city staff.
Matt, you have a copy of that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Liz. Was anyone else present this evening that didn't have a chance to sign up under citizen comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. We have 6 items this evening. We have council minutes from November 8th. We have council committee of the whole budget meetings from October 30th, November 12th, and November 29th, and council minutes from December 4th, and committee of the whole minutes from December 4th. Any questions on the consent agenda? If none, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion on that? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. On to new business number 1, review of the East James Street railing. I believe there was some photographs that were submitted at your desk this evening that Patrick has provided as kind of an update on the railing. Other than that, I'll turn it over to you, Patrick, if you wanted to include any additional information or...
Yeah, just I know that when we had last had this on the agenda, there just was some questions about what the product was going to look like, and we were just the railing was just brought into the city's possession, so I thought timely and a good thing to take some pictures and share them with you, just to get some feedback before we move to the install, and any other issues that you might see with that.
Any questions or concerns from the council? Trina?
Oh, I just wanted to say how pleased I am with how the images have turned out. I really wasn't sure what was going to happen with the tree, and I think it really looks lovely.
Good to hear. All right, Patrick, do you require specific action? I think most everything's been approved. You just wanted one last kind of review from us?
Yeah, I think that's what I had in mind.
Okay.
Again, to have everyone see it before it becomes a permanent fixture downtown. I took that opportunity. DPW is looking at the optimal ways to install it, and so we're working on that and hoping to have it put in as soon as we can.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Just to formalize it, why don't we have someone just make a motion to approve the final review of the railing and go ahead and have them installed, if that makes sense?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to approve the final review of the railing and to have them installed as soon as possible. Any discussion on that motion? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Number 2, Columbia County Health and Human Services Aging and Disability Resource Center, 2019 MOU for the nutrition site. I believe this is just general annual housekeeping. We have to approve this to have the the county provide the meal service through the senior center. Were there any changes that were notable this year?
No, I had talked with Kim. Everything was identical, including the payment, and Kim had no concerns about this proposal for next year.
Okay, thanks, Patrick. Any questions on this from the council? If none, I'll entertain any motion from the council then.
Make a motion to approve the 2019 MOU for the nutrition site.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the 2019 MOU for the nutrition site through the Columbia County Health and Human Services Aging and Disability Resource Center. Any discussion on that? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Number 3, consider or review and consider task order for utility design work for Highway 89 project. It's a task order from Rupert Milkie, I believe 60 and 90% benchmarks for the 89 project. I believe the bulk of this, Patrick, is probably going to be sewer related or wastewater related, and maybe that's how Jason has broken this out here in the 2 different numbers.
Yeah, almost entirely. In the next year, the DOT is looking for the city to prepare those utility plans to the 60, then the 90%, following their process, and something that we're very familiar with.
Yep. So it's essentially one task order that's going to cover the city's portion and the wastewater's portion. So total of $35,194 for that task order. Any questions from the council? If none, I'll entertain a motion to approve that task order.
Motion to approve task order 2018-9.
Second.
Motion a second to approve the task order with Rupert Milkie for utility design work for Highway 89. Any discussion on the motion? If none, could we please take a roll call, Pat?
Clark,
Aye.
Reed. Tylen,
Aye.
Traxler. Unanimous.
Thank you. All right, number 4 then, consider and take action on audit firm beginning in 2019. At the last committee of the whole meeting, I was excused. I know that you had Baker Tilly and Clifton Larson Allen in to kind of present. I don't know if there was a strong consensus that came out of that meeting, but if we have both of those up for consideration this evening. It looks like it is an agreement for 3 years with an extension to 5 possibly. What is the will of the council? We need to pick one tonight.
Yeah, so the will of the council at the last meeting was to wait for more people on council to be here. Now we have different people from council missing, so at this point, I'm ready to make a recommendation. You know, I would make a motion, but unless there's further discussion before my motion.
Anybody else have any strong feelings? Trina?
Oh, not exactly a strong feeling, but my question that I had was whether it could be a 1-year contract. I'm just on the fence about doing a trial before making a 3-year commitment.
I think that's possible, and Trina mentioned that. I don't know that that's just advisable. You know, I think you want to give a firm a chance to, you know, do at least 3 years. I think they base their numbers that way, and that's typically what is done. But if we went back to a chosen firm to say we wanted to do a 1 year, I don't think there's anything that would prevent us from it.
So I'm of the opinion that I would like to stick with Baker Tilly. I think they've done a good job, and you know, we're in pretty good shape with them. And you know, if we stuck with Baker Tilly, then your trial isn't really an issue because they've been our firm for a while. I do see the other side of it where, you know, it's always good to get a different set of eyes on it. But that, you know, I'm still in the camp of, you know, Baker Tilly.
And I agree with Andy. I mean, there's so many, like, ethics and stuff that they have to follow. So even getting a different set of eyes, you're still going to follow. They're going to still follow the same ethics that Baker Tilly has been following all this time. So I'd agree with Andy. I'd second and go with Baker Tilly.
I'd be comfortable staying with Baker Tilly.
Oh, I would be comfortable either way. I do think Baker Tilly's done a good job with us. I just like the idea of a trial set of eyes, but that could bring up its own issues. So I'll go with the will of the council.
And I just also wanted to say that this is the point of doing this was to make sure that who we were with was competitive in the marketplace, and they are. They've proven that with their bids. So that's why I'm still comfortable with them. So I'll make that motion to hire Baker Tilly as our audit firm for the 3 years, or however you want to word that. Pretty.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve Baker Tilly for our audit firm beginning in 2019. Any further discussion on that? If none, could we please take a roll call, Pat?
Reed.
Aye.
Tylen.
Aye.
Traxler.
Aye.
Clark. Unanimous.
Thank you. Number 5, consider and take action on consultant for Columbus Roadmap 2050 project. At the last committee of the whole, you had Jason Valerius in here from MSA. Matt, did you want to get up and speak a little on this?
I just wanted to note, I put a packet, the full packet in front of your chairs tonight. The only thing I wanted to note is Paul Johnson did review this, and he had no objections with it. So other than that, it's fairly standard, and assuming everything gets approved tonight, we'll hopefully get the mayor and Pat's signature so we can get this rolling. So I'll take any questions if there are any.
I don't know if this question's for you, but with the lump sum fee of $61,000, I know, wasn't a portion of that being covered by the library?
Correct.
Yeah,
And then
grant.
we had also set aside quite a bit of money for this, so this came in well under what we were.
That's
thinking.
correct.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Any questions for Matt? All right, thank you, Matt.
Yep.
I can say from my involvement in the community engagement team and being a part of interviewing all the different firms for this project, I was very impressed with MSA, and I think they definitely get what we're trying to do in Columbus, which is just a little bit different than normal, and they recognize that, so I'm very happy with their proposal and the interactions we've had with them. So unless there's anything else, I'll entertain a motion to approve MSA's contract with the City of Columbus for the Roadmap 2050 project. I have a motion, a second, to approve MSA with the contract for the Columbus Roadmap 2050 project. Any discussion on that? If none, Pat, could we please take a roll call?
Tylen?
Aye.
Traxler?
Aye.
Clark?
Aye.
Reed? Unanimous.
Thank you. Number 6, consider and take action on the city's website policy. You guys went through this at the committee of the whole? Everything, I don't think there was a whole lot of discussion on the website policy to begin with. It was mostly the social media policy. So are we all good to move forward with this? Okay, if there's no questions, then I'll entertain a motion to take action on the city's website policy updates.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, a second, to approve the updates for the city's website policy. Any discussion on that?
I just liked his clean version. It's the JT, so it happens to be Memorial Website Administration Policy.
Nice.
A little wink from our departing.
All right, we had a motion and a second, correct, Pat? Any further discussion? Okay. If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 7 then would be for the city's social media policy updates. There was a red line version and a clean version, but I think you guys got through all the questions that you had at the last committee of the whole. Unless there's any further discussion or questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve those updates as well.
Make a motion to approve the social media policy.
Second.
Motion and a second to update or to accept the updates for the city's social media policy. Any discussion on that? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, number 8, consider and take action on applications for operators licenses. We had one updated left at our desks. It should be Avada J. Sunhen and Chelsea Mascotti. Anyone else, Pat? Just those two? Okay. Unless there's any questions on that, I'll entertain a motion to approve those 2 operators licenses for the period of July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2020.
Motion to approve the operator's licenses as named.
Second.
Motion a second to approve the operators licenses as read. Any discussion on that? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Number 9, consider and take action on claims in the amount of $282,294.00. Any discussion on the claims? If none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims in the amount read.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the city claims in the amount of $282,294. Any discussion on the motion? If none, Pat, could you please take a roll call?
Traxler? Clark? Reed? Tylen?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. On to report of city officers. Patrick?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick thank you to all who worked to make the holiday train a big success this year. I think the the process, the event, the planning, everything gets better and better every year, and that doesn't happen without city staff and the many citizen volunteers. So thank you for all that effort, and look forward to next year. We have been pretty steady already with collections of tax payments, and the treasurer's office is open from 8 to 4:30 to take those. So anybody wanting to come down, the ladies in the office certainly would like to see you. And with that, just wishing everyone here and in the community a safe and happy holidays.
Thanks, Patrick. I also had the holiday train on there. We've talked about that a lot leading up to the train. I had the privilege of riding the train into Columbus this year with my family, so I got to hear a little bit of the discussion on the train from the CP Rail staff, and they were incredibly impressed with how we do this in Columbus as well. They estimated the crowd to be between 4,000 and 5,000 people. They have to do that in every community they go to, but they had a lot of really positive comments about Columbus, and I hope we have, a successful event again next year and that we build upon that. And again, thanks to all the staff that pitch in to make this run as smoothly as it does. I also wanted to thank staff and the community engagement team for all the work that led up to the approval of the contract with MSA this evening for the future planning event. It's taken a long time to get consensus from council and bring that all the way through and have funding and grants and other things. But thanks for everybody who helped out with that. Also wanted to mention that there are some open appointments for boards, committees, and commissions. Right now, the Recreation Advisory Committee has a current vacancy. We're looking for someone. If you're interested in that, you can look at the city website. There's an application available on there. Stop in at City Hall. Contact me or Patrick at any time if you're interested. Also, the Municipal Court Ad Hoc Committee. There's been a press release that's been out in the local newspaper for the last month at least, informing people that we're looking for members. I've had one person that I believe is interested that has some relevant experience who could help out, but we're going to need a couple more individuals. I'm going to have to appoint people to that ad hoc committee at the next meeting because we need to stay on track with the process needed to formulate that municipal court. Also wanted to let people know that District 1 Alder Kasia Millar submitted her resignation to Clerk Pat Gable last week. It was effective December 13th, so her seat has been officially vacated. Council will be discussing that in the upcoming year, next year. So, and last but not least, happy holidays to everyone. I hope you have safe travels and enjoy time with your family. Thank you. Anybody else have anything to add? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll stand adjourned for just a few minutes, and then we'll be back with the Plan Commission. Thank you.
You sound so healthy now.